Good afternoon. It is Friday. It is October 6th. Hope this new microphone is working out. Lot to talk about today, people. First off, the non-farm payroll report. Negative 33,000 jobs. Terrible number, obviously, but it's got an asterisk because of the hurricanes. So do you throw this number out altogether? Do you just call it a one-off? I don't think so. I don't think you can just scratch it off, because these hurricanes are they're gonna have a lingering effect for months and months and months. So yeah, there's going to be people who are going to be getting jobs in construction to put it all back together, but it's not a net positive. Some people want to spin everything like this as net positives. They're not. So we just have to watch this. Gold really didn't react on the number. First it spiked down, then it came back up. It's up about $5 right now. Stocks down slightly. They were up earlier, they came down. Really just a quiet day. So the markets really didn't move much on the news. So, and that's what I had said, if it was a bad number, they were just going to say, well, it's due to the hurricanes. If it was a good number, they would say, well, there you go, just more proof that the economy is strengthening. So take it for what you will. There's somebody who's saying the bond market is bleeding off. We've been hearing this for how many years now? And in a few videos back, I showed you a long-term chart of the 10-year. And the bond market has been in a 36-year-old bull market, meaning the prices are rising and the yields are coming down because they're inversely correlated. So the price has been going up for 36 years, and that's the Fed's plan. Okay? There's always going to be people that want to make a name for themselves. Okay? I remember at the racetrack, for example, you'd have overwhelming favorites, 1 to 5, 1 to 10, whatever the odds are, and you have 20 columnists who will write, who they predict to win the race, and out of the 20. 19 will say the favorite. He can't lose. He's just too strong. And then you'll always have one who will go against the favorite, and he'll pick a 5 or a 10 to 1 shot because he wants to make a name for himself. If the favorite wins, well, it was the favorite. Of course, he was supposed to win, right? If the favorite wins, he would have been one of 20. Nobody would have known him, right? So this is all their shtick. Okay, this is their shtick. This is how they do it. Okay, so I'll pick a 10 to 1 shot. If I get lucky, hey, I picked the 10 to 1 shot. Look at all the other 19 that got it wrong. And if he loses, well, I went with a 10 to. What do you expect? The favorite was too strong. This is what they do, and then they reinvent themselves every so often. Okay. I don't know if you could see this. That's the 10-year chart. This top chart right here of the 10-year. It started out at 4, okay? Back in 2008, that looks like. 4%. And it's gone down and down and down because the Fed has been buying bonds, right? They've been buying the bonds. And right now, we're at 2.35, I think it was today. How is this bleeding? How are bonds bleeding? Okay? It couldn't be any more flatter. Okay? Right here. The last time it was at 3% was 3 years ago. We haven't even gotten back to that. So these people, whoa, bonds are bleeding. Come on, pull in your reins, okay? And let's live in Realville, okay? This is from 1 year ago, okay? Down below here, 1 year ago. I don't know if you could see this line. It's been so steady, this line. This line has been so steady, all right? This is a little blip on the radar screen. So bonds are not selling off. They're not bleeding, okay? For 36 years, people have been want to call the end of the bond bull market. Okay, one guy even calls it a bubble. 36 years, it's a bubble. What are you talking about? I want to read a little article here. There are no bears left. None. Not a soul. From Zero Hedge. No bears left. Think back 6 months. Do you remember all the warnings from the legendary hedge fund managers about the impending stock market? Do you remember that? How many carnival barkers have you heard all these years with the impending stock market doom? Huh? Name them. Name them. You can name them all. You could rattle them all off. They know who they are. Okay? Paul Tudor Jones, Scott Minard, Larry Fink, Seth Klarman. The list is long but distinguished. I'm not even talking about these distinguished people who are at least serious. Okay? I'm talking about the carnival barkers for 6 years. Okay? At the time I penned, it's too easy to write bearish pieces. Even in late summer, gurus like Gunlatch were bragging about the 400% he would make on his S&P 500 put purchases. Billionaire bears. Given the atmosphere, I knew posts about the coming collapse would be greeted with tons of words of encouragement. Yet if I wrote something about the stock market continuing higher, crickets. And that's exactly right. Okay? You gotta come out with outlandish calls if you want to get noticed. Never mind the truth. Okay? Or worse yet, remarks about my cluelessness regarding the problems in the global financial system. I'm not going to read the rest of this article. It's long, but you get the point. Okay? Everybody's doom and gloom. They've been calling for the collapse and this and that. And that. They have that. This is their cash cow. They can't just go along. So they have to come out with outlandish calls. Okay? Next article I want to read. Trump at dinner with military commanders cites calm before the storm. While taking photos alongside military leaders and their spouses, before dinner at the White House, President Donald Trump made an ambiguous statement citing the calm before the storm. You guys know what this represents. Maybe it's the calm before the storm, Trump said at the photo op Thursday night following a meeting with his top military commanders. When reporters present asked what he meant, Trump replied, "It could be the calm before the storm." Reporters asked if the storm was related to Iran or ISIS. Trump replied, "We have the world's greatest military people in this room. I will tell you that. And we're going to have a great evening. Thank you all for coming." When asked again what he meant, Trump said only, "You'll find out." You'll find out. Calm before the storm. So what does he mean by that exactly? I don't know. He's made comments before. Everything is for effect, okay? These are not just off-the-cuff comments, okay? All right? He called the stock market a bubble while he was campaigning. Now he's saying, you know, what a great bull market we're in. He called China a currency manipulator. Then he had to negotiate with China. Says they're not a currency manipulator. So I don't know what to make of this, the calm before the storm. Anyway, that's basically it. The probability of a Fed rate hike is now like 80% in December. Okay? The Fed, you know, people want to say the Fed is boxed in. They're boxed in. And I know what they're saying, and I appreciate that. Because they are boxed in. Okay? But what is their goal? I mean, on the one hand, people are saying the Fed is clueless. The Fed is a private bank. The Fed is only there to make money for themselves, private bankers. So what do you mean boxed into what? If that's their agenda, what are they boxed into? If their goal is to actually help average citizens and help make the economy thrive and grow, then I'd say, okay, yeah, they're boxed in. But if that's not their agenda, and a lot of people are spewing that it's not, okay, they're private bankers, there's no Fed and federal, okay. So if their goal is to make money for themselves and to keep that going, then how could you say they're boxed in? It doesn't make any, see, it doesn't make any sense. This is what I'm talking about. Let's think about it. I mean, what's the worst that can happen to them? I mean, are we going to abolish the Fed? It's been how many years? It's been over 100 years. They're not going away. They get applauded. They get accolades. Greenspan. Whoa, the maestro. This is how it's going to be. So what are they boxed in? If their agenda is to make money for the elites, for the private bankers, then you can't say they're boxed in. You can't have it both ways. Okay? So that doesn't make any sense. I appreciate, if you like this, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, that's fine too. Give me a thumbs down. Tell me where I'm wrong. Share it. I'd appreciate that. Leave some comments. Thank you. Have a good weekend. Stay safe. Ciao.